Well, the first question I have, I mean, there's a lot going on, but if I were down there, I would have been looking at the first round draft pick, Pearsall. So what I want to know is, how did he look? And here's what I mean. Forget how he played for a second. Literally, how did he look? How did he look in his uniform? What does he look like? How does he move? All of that before we even get to his plays.
He looks more. He doesn't look like Brandon Ayuk or Deebo Samuel. The first time I saw those people in person, it was apparent that they were much better than the corners they were going against. Pearsall looks solid. He doesn't look small. He doesn't look slow. He doesn't look like he lacks confidence. He looks like an all-around good to solid to good wide receiver. He creates a good first impression. He's a good route runner. He seems like he knows what he's doing. He's not a project. He's older. He looks the part. And Ayuk's gone, so he stands in and is in the starting lineup in place of Brandon Ayuk, and it looks okay.
Does he have good hands?
He does have good hands. He has short arms, but he has very good hands.
Meaning soft, he catches the ball, all of that.
Great hand-eye coordination, tracks the ball well, doesn't drop it.
Okay. Tell us about his plays.
Okay. So he went again. I always want to see who they're matched up with. If he were to beat Diamador Lenore, that's a big deal. Diamador Lenore is a good cornerback in the NFL, a starter. He faced Diamador Lenore. He went up against Ambry Thomas, who has played for the 49ers, but he's not that good. And he's even worse in practice for some reason. And he beat Ambry Thomas twice. He also went up against Rock Ya-Sin, who's a veteran that the Niners signed this offseason, and Ya-Sin broke up the pass. So, hard to say. He ran well. He moves well. He beat Ambry Thomas twice. He didn't beat Rock Ya-Sin. The thing that he struggles the most with is press coverage if you put your hands on him. And you're not allowed to do that in OTAs. So this is the time for him to really look good. And he looked good today.
Okay. So let's say he looked promising.
He looked promising today. Absolutely. Yes.
If Ayuk doesn't play some games this season or gets traded, could he step in and be as good as Brandon Ayuk?
I wouldn't say that yet. Maybe. It's possible, but just because he beat Ambry Thomas twice today in practice doesn't make me feel that he's pretty much Brandon Ayuk. I remember the first time I saw Brandon Ayuk practice, I felt that no one could cover him. And with Pearsall, like Rock Ya-Sin could cover him. So I need to see a little bit more before I feel like this is a high-level starter. Now it looks like a guy who could be a good number 3 receiver for them. If you had Deebo, Ayuk, and Pearsall, he might be a lot to handle. But as a just a 1-for-1 replacement for Ayuk or Deebo, I'd have to see more.
Okay, fair enough. It's just one practice. He's getting the feel of it. But he's not a bust.
No. Well, I remember seeing AJ Jenkins the first offseason. He couldn't go a practice without falling down. He would frequently drop the ball. He would go lots of practice. He would go all week without catching a ball. So no, that's not what Ricky Pearsall looks like. And they were the same pick. They're both 31. Pearsall looks like a guy who's going to be solid at a lot of things. The question is, will he be Ayuk level? We'll see.
Okay. In a way, what you're saying is they took him in the first round, and he may be worth that. Or he may be worth actually a second or a third, and we're going to find out. Is that another way of expressing it?
I would have to say so. And it's like, I don't think that's a slight, because remember, before the draft, John Lynch said, they only gave out something like 16 or 17 first-round grades. Like they're real sticklers about giving out first-round grades. So they took this guy. And after they took him, I asked John, well, did you give Ricky Pearsall a first-round grade? And he laughed. He said, we gave him a really high grade. So, no. Probably not. And you took him in first. You would have said so. So you gave him a second-round grade. You took him in round 1 because it was the second-to-last pick in round 1. No one really looks at him as a first-round pick. But had they taken him in round 2, there would be no pressure on him. So it's kind of a function of where they took him.